to the Lituation Room. What is good, everyone? It's your girl, Leisha B. You are now in the place to be. Welcome to the Lituation Room. Y'all already know the vibes. It's season 3, so you know we're becoming bigger and better. And you know that I've been trying to make this season all about how to be successful in artistry during this time, you know, music, and people have been asking me this certain questions about music and the industry. So I just figured I'd become, you know, your one-stop hub this season. So if you haven't listened to the other episodes, I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds to go back. Okay, that should be enough time. So you should have listened to the other episodes, and then now you're here. Great. So I have an amazing young woman as my guest today. And when she tells you all her accolades, you're just going to be blown away that she is so young and still in college doing all of this while still being a full-time student. So I'm going to just let her give her brief intro real quick.
Hi, everyone. My name is Arial Robinson. I am a multimedia journalism student at North Carolina A&T State University. Along with being a student, I'm also a mixed media artist and the published author of the modern day Black alphabet book. And I'm also now a musical artist and have a single called Pressure out on all streaming platforms.
Published author, she says. An artist on all streaming platforms, she says.
Period.
Okay, so we're just going to get right on into it. So I guess the first thing that we need to talk about is how are you doing so much at one time? Like, how do you balance everything?
I don't. I don't know. So like I'm one of those people that I'm like when I get an idea, I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just go and do it. I don't want to wait. And so I always have so many different ideas. And I'm not going to lie, I could be a lot more balanced, but I'm trying. You know, I got a calendar on the wall. I have an agenda. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I miss deadlines all the time. I oversleep. I miss things, but that's okay. Got to charge to the game and keep it going. So I just try to do everything that makes me happy. And if something's not making me happy, I cut it to the curb and I move on to something different. And it's really just about not being afraid of stuff and doing it, because when things are new, of course, you're going to be scared. But to be able to balance so many different things, you have to just be willing to put yourself out there and fail and fall. And that's okay, because that's a part of the process.
Right. Okay. So with modern day Black alphabet, obviously I follow you on social media, so I kind of saw the journey of how it became an actual like product. But can you give like a brief journey of how you went from the thought process to the actual execution?
Yes. So when quarantine had just started, I did a Nike series. So I did 10 installments of fake Nike advertisements. And then once I was done with that, I was like, what's next? What I want to do next? Because when I was at home, I wasn't doing anything, and it was kind of keeping me sane and occupied. So I went through all my different bookmarks and saved in Pinterest boards. And I remember on Twitter a year before, I saved a tweet about the Black ABCs by the Society of Visual Education in 1970. So I followed a lot of different Black archival pages, and somebody had made a tweet about it. And I saved it because I thought it was really cool. And I seen it and I was like, I want to recreate this. That's going to give me however many days of content so I can, you know, be bringing in people, being consistent, but also like I could redo it and make it more of a below the surface type of deal, rather than like having regular words that are connected to the alphabet and just putting Black people in them, but also putting our experiences and what we look like and what we feel and taste and all the senses when you see these photos. So it was only supposed to be a photo series for my Instagram and Twitter. But halfway through the series, people were like, if you made this into a book, I will buy it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and so they're like, yeah, like we'll buy it. And so I was like, okay. And when I tell you I didn't have no money at all, I didn't have $1 to my name. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm about to publish a book. So I literally Googled, you know, how can I self-publish a book? And I learned about print on demand, which I had used before with other products, but never like books. So I found out about print on demand. I uploaded my internal files. I got my book published, and the rest is history.
So you're on this journey to 10K, which clearly I'm going to say that by the time this episode comes out, you're going to have hit it. We just going to manifest it.
I hope, but I'm very far. I am very far from that goal, but you know what? I'm going to manifest that. God is going to come through for me.
Exactly.
But I'm very far, and that's okay. We're taking it steady day by day.
Right. So how has the overall, not success, but like the overall vibes that people have been getting, like what are the things that people have been saying once they receive the actual product?
So they really like it. It's they can see themselves in it, and that's something that I really enjoy. When they open that book, they're gonna see me and my family and my experiences, but they also, it's a reflection of themselves. And so for, I don't want to say the first time because it's not the first time, but in a new modern way, people are able to expose their children to the foundation of language through themselves, and they're represented that way. And so it's a really good feeling because no matter how much Black art is put out, there's never going to be that much saturation. We can't oversaturate it because there are people working against us that don't want to hear our stories. So when people are able to physically hold it, you know, they can feel those pages, they can hear them turn, you know, it's something that's special. And a lot of people have just said that it's a great experience. And I know one of my supporters, she's a teacher, and she had one of her, like some of her students do it for like an assignment. And so for them to be so young and see themselves, and like, oh yeah, no, I remember sitting in the kitchen with a hot comb getting my hair bumped, and for them to see that that experience is not something that they're alone in, it's
Right.
comforting, you know. So I've gotten a lot of great positive feedback.
When I first saw the photo series, I was like, no, like that's crazy because everything that was in the series was very much like a universal Black vibe. And I was just realizing that as a young Black kid, I didn't really have a lot of things that I could read or watch that were affiliated with people that look like me. Like everyone, kind of shits on Bill Cosby right now, but honestly, back in the day, that's all I had. That's all I had was Lil Bill, and all I had was, the Cosby Show as I was growing up, and some Black cartoons would color us as like green or purple or something.
Yeah,
So
and
it
not
was
really
like
color.
exactly. So it was very hard for me to kind of see myself in a world where I eventually wanted to be. So I'm very proud of you because I know that as a creator, it took a lot to even make the perfect shot, come up with the concept of everything, but then to channel it into a whole book is probably so fulfilling, so rewarding. So I'm super proud of you. Like that was amazing. I was talking to all my friends and I was like, yo, she is going to go far
Thank
because
you.
your mind, like, I just can't imagine like how your mind works, because all I'm saying is that you're going to be amazing. And I'm not surprised if, you get a Pulitzer or something or get awards for anything that you do, because your concepts are so amazing. Like the one that you had mentioned earlier, the Nike concept, like people from Nike like saw that and were like, what? Like, girls been in Essence, y'all.
You
Best
know.
dressed creative on Instagram. Y'all see the fit right now. You see the color coordination. So it's not like they're just picking her for no reason. Converse. Oh my God. Can we talk about Converse? Because we're going to get into the single, I promise. But can we talk about how that came to be?
Yeah, so I had just finished, I would say I finished up the book, and I'm like, okay, what's next? Everybody's always asking what's next. And so I was just, scrolling, and Converse is a part of the Nike family. So I had seen that they were doing this like campaign. It was called Converse at Home, and they were encouraging creators of all different mediums to incorporate Converse in their work. And if they liked it, then they may send you something or they may commission you. So I took some photos and some old beat up Converse. I mean, I love Converse. I've always loved Converse. I used to wear them in middle school. Like, I love the brand. The shoe is very symbolic and it's very versatile. So I was just taking some pictures, like usual, shooting my shot, tagging Converse. And one of their creative directors, he emailed me through my website and was like, hey, we wanted to know if you would be a part of our Fall August campaign. We're reaching out to different creators at home and want to know if you could shoot a campaign in your home because we really want to highlight creators in their workspace. So I was like, absolutely. I'm like, I hope this is real because, if this is a scam, I'm going to be upset. So he was like, yeah. And I looked at his @Converse, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is for real. So we get on a call, we talk to the team and everything. They send me over a shoe. And the funny thing is, so my shoe that I shot in was a sample. And so they aren't like directly at the warehouse. Like they're not in control of the direct samples and inventory. So I get this shoe and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think somebody stole my other shoe. Turns out it was only one shoe to begin with because it was a sample. So in all the photos that I took, I literally only had one shoe on. And people probably won't realize that because they're not thinking like, oh, she only has one shoe on, but I only had one shoe on and I had to really finesse it. But yeah, they reached out to me through my email, and it was really just me, tagging people, asking my followers, hey, can y'all tag? I'm like, if you support me, do something real quick and just tag this brand or tag this person, because social media is really, really powerful. And yeah, I shot it in my house with my own camera and everything. I sent over the deliverables, and came August, I was on the front page of Converse.com.
I am literally trying to remember the picture, and I'm just like, no, she did not have just one shoe on.
I literally only have one of those shoes. I can't even wear them because I only own one of them, and it's at home in my memories box.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Nobody would have known if I wouldn't have said anything, because nobody
exactly.
There's only one shoe on my foot.
Wow. Okay. See, that's how great you are. Like, people aren't realizing that. Like, what? Okay. Not only was she, in essence, also, has Converse under her belt, Nike under her belt. She was also the 2019 Forbes 30 under 30 scholar.
Yes.
So how was the process of going through that and getting chosen?
So I had went to a pitch / hackathon competition in May of 2019. And it was sponsored by the Thurgood Marshall College Foundation. So I was around a lot of different people for the first time that go to HBCUs, where scholars were doing great things in their own respective fields. So we were in a group chat, and I'm still in that group chat today. Of course, we don't really talk anymore, but in that group chat, and they're like, hey, are y'all going to apply for Forbes? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know, because there's a YouTuber, her name is Nia Amani. I look up to her a lot, and I had seen her vlog it a year before, and I'm like, I think that would be so cool. And so when they had brought it up, I'm just gonna apply. So really all anyone has to do is, when it's open, after the pandemic and everything, you just go on the website, you apply. It's an application. Of course, you say why you want to go, like what you're doing, why you're deserving. And of those applicants, I don't know how they selected, but it's only 1,000 people for 1,000 scholars. So 1,000 scholars are chosen, and they pay for your ticket, but you pay for your flight and your everything else. So they waive your ticket. And so I just applied, and I got it, and I was so surprised. I was like, oh my gosh. So I went to Detroit, and we were able to see a lot of different CEOs, and we seen Kevin Durant, Quavo, 21 Savage was there, Armani. It was a lot of different stars, but also a lot of different CEOs and bloggers that were there. And we were in these breakout sessions just listening to them talk about, how they got where they are, what they're doing, what they have for the future. And it was really inspiring to be around those people. But also, that experience really lit a fire under my butt, because at the same time, I'm around the most, the best people in the country right now. I'm also broke. When I tell you my card, somebody from Bangladesh used my card, so I couldn't use my card. In the middle of the trip, I had an eczema breakout. So for the first time, my skin is disgusting. I'm like, oh my gosh, you feel self-conscious.
Right.
When I tell you, I was like, I'm ready to go home. And from then, when I tell you, I was just not feeling good. And so I was like, you know what? I don't feel good right now, but I can't stay in this spot. And so I'll never forget that experience, because for the first time, when I tell you everything came crashing down, when you would think that everything would be so good.
Right.
And I made a blog post about it, because at the time I had a blog, and I was just like, y'all, you know what? I'm at the bottom right now. And that's okay, because that means I can't go no lower. So it's only up from here. And so I would say that was a very life-changing experience, going there and being able to see firsthand what it feels like to see people at the top and still be at the bottom.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So your experience is just amazing. Like we said earlier, you just do so much. So, we're going to talk about the single now.
Period.
So you told me the story of how the single came and the process. So we're going to get into that in a second, but what is Pressure about? Why did you make it? How do you want people to feel when they hear the single?
Okay, so I don't know if other people consume marijuana, But for me, pressure is about when you are smoking, if you're going to get high, you want to feel the pressure. You know, you don't want no mid. And so pressure has multiple meanings.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, you know, when I want some weed and I want to be high, I want some pressure. If I'm in a relationship and me and this guy are talking, he needs to apply pressure.
Exactly.
If I am, you know, working on my career, I'm applying pressure in all aspects. So really for me, in the course, let's say I need that pressure, give me a lesson. I need the people in my life, you got to teach me, you know, how can I apply pressure? Because I'm assuming that those people that are in my life are also on the, you know, the track to applying pressure, you know, accomplishing their goals. Maybe that's smoking weed, and that's okay, you know, but yeah, so pressure has a lot of different meanings, but it's really just about going hard and having the best of the best in all aspects of life.
Okay, so when we talked earlier, you said that pressure had released earlier, and now it's here again. So what was the process of that?
So I recorded the song back in January, and I put it out on SoundCloud, and nobody heard it. Nobody listened to it. I didn't really promote it that much, but I did a little bit on Twitter. Nobody listened to it, and that was okay, right? But then me and my best friend were listening to it, and we were like, we really like this song. And I'm like, me too. So I went back. I got the licensing and everything for the beat, and I tweaked it a little bit, and I was like, okay, now I really want this rollout to be something different. You know, I want to actually shoot the cover. I want to put out content around it. And that's what I did. And so then I re-released it on all streaming platforms so that people could listen to it on whatever they like to listen to it.
Right.
So yeah, it was out. Nobody listened to it. And I wasn't upset about that because I'm not Beyonce yet. You know, I'm not
exactly.
Exactly, not yet. I ain't got there yet. I'm still at the bottom, and that's okay. That means it's only up from here. And so I was like, I want to really have like a more solid brand around my music. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting out more stuff.
Okay, so with the cover art, you mentioned it. So obviously it's a bomb cover art, y'all. Like maybe in the video section of like this podcast, I'll throw up a picture of it. But the cover art is beautiful. So did you kind of have like an idea or a concept of how you wanted it to look, or was it just very much freestyle of how it worked?
So I knew I wanted to have a black background, but I was just like, I didn't exactly know what I wanted. And like literally 2 days before, I was still like getting my outfit together because people will learn real quick with me. I'm last minute, and that's not good. I'm like trying. I'm one of those people, as soon as I get it, I got it, and I go, you know? So I found my outfit, my hair was right, and I was just like, I think this would be just cool on a black background, just be very bold. And when I think of myself in music, I want to be that pop star, that girl, that it girl, that all around Renaissance woman, you know, the look, the sound, the feel. So when you see me, you see a finished product. And even though like within that finished product, there are different, you know, raw edges and hems, I'm not perfect, but for the cover, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. And usually I don't know exactly what I want. I just kind of say like, okay, we're going to use this background. We're going to play around with some poses, and then we're going to let the universe do what it's going to do. And so it happened. It came together, and I'm really thankful for Hakeem because he really was able to bring my vision to life and really give that like 90s, 2000s R&B pop girl, you know, like, you know, just that it girl.
Like I said, the cover art is beautiful. So I feel like the first thing that people see when they haven't heard the song is the cover art. So if your cover art is amazing, phenomenal, they're more inclined to listen to it. So I definitely love it. The song is amazing. If y'all haven't gone and listened to the song, I really don't know what y'all are doing.
Go stream it.
Go stream it. Go buy it, because if you haven't seen on social media lately, you actually get a lot more streams if you buy the song. So how about you just go and support a fellow Black creator and just buy it? Simple. You buy weed, go buy it. It's cheaper than weed.
Go buy that pressure, period. That real pressure.
All right, so I have a little game.
Okay.
So let's get your chops ready, your brains ready. We gonna play a little game of song association. I love this game. Shout out to Terrell. Shout out to Terrell. Shout out to Elle. But this is what we gonna do. So I'm gonna give you a word. You got 10 seconds. to sing the word that's either in the lyric or in the title of the song. So are you ready?
I'm not, but let's go.
Okay, the first word is build.
Build.
Mm-hmm.
Build. Remember those? Oh no, that's not the word. Remember those walls of Bill? Well, baby, they're tumbling down. You put up a fight. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that the word? Because sometimes I be mumbling. Sometimes when I sing the songs, like I be mumbling, so I don't be knowing the real words.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay.
One.
Okay, next one is imagine.
Imagine me being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can imagine me. Kirk Franklin.
Yes, come on. I love the switch up. Love a good switch up. All right, let's give how about fire? Since we love pressure, let's get fire.
This girl is on fire, fire, fire. This girl is on fire.
Come on, ad-libs. All right, so since I said pressure, we obviously have to do pressure as a word now.
Yes, I need that pressure. Send me that pressure. I need that pressure. Do what you do, baby. Go where you wanna go. Pressure by Arial.
Go stream it.
Yes, go stream it.
All right, I'm gonna give you 2 more words. I really be wanting to stump people, so we gotta see. I gotta give you a hard word. I'm
nervous.
Because I'm trying to think of the word and then think of a song because I'm like, oh, if it's an easy song, I can't do it. Okay, honey.
Honey? Honey. I don't know. Honey, I don't know. honey.
I was thinking of Kehlani, honey.
Honey. Does it say honey in that song?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not saying.
Oh, I like my girl just like I like my honey. Wow. And when I tell you that completely went over my head.
Okay, I'm gonna give you last one. I'm gonna try to make it easy for you. All right, what about, since we're leaving, we left this season already. Let's do summer.
Summer. Let's make love in the summertime. On the sand beach and make plans to be in each other's arms. Summer by the Carters.
Yes.
I love that.
Even thinking that song.
You said what?
I wasn't even thinking that song, but that is so good.
I listen to that album every week. Like when I tell you every single week, I love that album. I want them to make another one. I feel like that album deserves so much more. I love that song so much.
They really did the damn thing when they came out with that album. The Carters is actually really good. Well, Everything Is Love. That's what it's called.
Yeah, Everything Is Love. But the Carters, that duo, I mean, of course, Beyonce and Jay-Z. I don't expect anything less.
Exactly. So speaking of other artists, who are some artists that you would want to collab with very soon or one day within your music career?
My ultimate collaboration is Stevie Wonder. That's like my favorite artist of all time. But also I really like Tyler the Creator. He's like my favorite modern day artist. I would love to collaborate with Giveon, Frank Ocean, Brent Faiyaz. Like these are all just artists that I really love and admire. Her, Summer Walker, definitely Kehlani and Janae.
Yes.
That's a lot of people. But those are like all the people I listen to all the time. And like I would love to collaborate with every single one of them.
Okay,
and
so
so I could be on the hook. Like 21 Savage, I love Savage Mode too. That is heavy rotation. I would love to be on a 21 Savage hook.
21 Savage did the thing with Savage Mode too. And with the sequencing and having Morgan Freeman in there.
Yes, it was amazing.
Chef's kiss. Okay, so besides, just people that you want to collab with, Is there a song that's out right now that you just wish that was your song? Like you could see your voice on it?
I would say, okay, so everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have compared me to SZA, and I don't know why, because I don't hear the similarities or see the similarities at all, but I love her. And if I could, I would want The Weeknd for myself because I love that song and it has so much sentimental value to me, and I would just want that song to myself.
Okay, so with music, during this time in the pandemic, it was probably kind of, it was probably a little hard to, make the thought process to make the transition to want to get into the music industry in that way. So as a creative and artist, a mixed medium artist, like how do you feel like right now has either hindered you or inspired you, and whether it's your creativity or how to stay motivated and stuff like that?
So right now has just really inspired me a lot to just use the resources that I have. And if I work with what I have, what I want and what I need will come to me.
Right.
And it has every single time. Every time I just use what I have, God is going to come through and he is going to give me the rest of the necessary tools that I may not have. So for me, it's like, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of times where I'm like, if only I had this or if only I had that, I could do this and that. But like, you can't spend your whole life wishing on a star. You have to kind of use the resources you have. So this time has really pushed me to dig deep and create with the resources that I have. And then also I've just been inspired by, other artists like Chloe and Halle for sure. Every time I see them on my timeline, I'm inspired because they turned that tennis court up and they've given us the performances of a lifetime. And I'm like, if they can turn that tennis court up, I'm going to turn this bedroom upside down and we're going to get something popping.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing. And people appreciate when you just use what you have. And when they see there's a need or a fit for them to come along, they will come. And so that's what the pandemic has really just inspired me to use what I have.
Chloe and Halle has definitely done the damn thing. Like, I just wish that I was a neighbor because I would sit outside, just be like,
can I? Yes, I would be out there like front row cheering them on, megaphone, let's go, because they're amazing. And I look up to them so much. They're amazing.
I just love that during this time, artists haven't just sat on their asses for the most part. Like they've come up with like Chloe and Halle turning their tennis court into, a stage damn near. And, people doing different live performances. Like my season 2 guest, her name's Kaylin Mary, and she did a whole live concert for YouTube in her backyard and created the whole set list and the whole way that it looked visually and how things were going to sound. And she did that within, I think what she said was a month. Like she came up with the idea and just did it. So it's like, I really, I commend artists right now who are not just saying, okay, well, we can't go anywhere. There's no stages. Let's make, a stage where we can make a stage. Let's still give our fans some sort of experience while, we can. So what's some advice that you have for people who are in any part of your experience? Because like I said, you do so much. So what advice do you have for people during this time that just need kind of like a push?
I would say to really look in before you look out, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm not here or I'm not that, but just really look in and commend yourself for the progress that you've made, because this is a crazy time and there is no one-way street or what you should be doing. You need to take time to just relax and focus on yourself. Do that. Don't feel like you're on a race with anybody else, because you're on your own journey. And, look inside and see, what can I do to better myself? What can I do to accomplish my goals? And if there are goals, ask yourself, like, why haven't I got there? What's holding me back? And really just take it step by step and day by day, because again, we're all on our own journeys and we're doing our own things. And to really surround yourself with people and things like on social media that you can consume that will motivate you. Because a lot of times people are like, oh, social media is bad. Social media can be bad if you let it be bad. Right. It's really a decision. If you feel like you're consuming something that's not good, cut it off, unfollow, block, mute, report, do all that, and really change your timeline and change what you're doing, because because we're inside a lot, I mean, people are starting to move and do things, you know, with caution. But for the most part, we're still really consuming a lot of internet, social media, online. And so you really have to curate what you're seeing and consuming so that you can better yourself at the end of the day, because you'll be doing yourself a favor. So I would say just really look in and figure out what works for you and move from there.
So, okay, last question. Obviously, you know, with our listeners and your supporters listening, what is one thing that you want to tell new supporters and people that have been ride or die with you from day one? What's one thing that you want to tell
them? Stick along, because the journey is just beginning. It's just starting. We haven't even this is the mountain. I'm like right here. I haven't even started, you know, going up, you know? So I would just say sit tight, stick along, because it's only going to get better from here. And I would say thank you. Thank you to everybody who continues to support me, share, like, comment. You know, I am grateful and very appreciative that people want to be a part of my journey and they want to consume what I'm creating. For any creator, that's an amazing feeling. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am beyond grateful and appreciative.
All right, y'all. Go Stream Pressure. You already know the vibes. We're going to let her give your socials and anything else that you want to promote real quick.
Yes. Okay. So my Instagram is on.arial. So IM.ARIAL. My Twitter is honestari, HONESTARI. And if you can't remember that, just go to arialrobinson.com and everything is there. My music. You can shop the Modern Day Black alphabet. You can, everything is there. So if you want to learn more about me, go to arialrobinson.com.
Yes, well, thank you so much for being on the show. I am super excited for this episode to come out.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next episode.